Official Mario Toast. Overrated Sonic games. Well, this is an obvious one, but yeah, I still find Sonic Colors to be very overrated. Why? 2 words. False advertising. Like, they heavily advertise this game as a boost gameplay and it's all 3D and everything. And then you play it on the Wii and there's barely any 3D. The game at its core solely relies on 2D level design that makes the stages more platform heavy and slower to get through. And the boosting is still there, but again, the way the levels are designed, you rarely use it at all. Man, I remember back when that was the newest Sonic game and people were just praising it like crazy that it was pretty much illegal to say anything negative about it. But I'm starting to notice over time people are coming out and saying that Colors wasn't as great as they remembered and whatnot. It's amazing how quickly opinions can change in the Sonic fandom. Like, recently I've been hearing people say that they now consider Sonic CD to be a bad Sonic game. Well, that's a new one for me. Next question. Underrated Sonic games. Well, that's definitely Sonic Unleashed. Has a nice balance with gameplay styles, and unlike Colors and every other Sonic game after that, they know how to balance the 3D and 2D stuff, and it wasn't falsely advertised. Like, the design of the 2D stuff are like the Sonic Rush games, simple but still manage to keep the flow going, without too many moving platforms and abrupt stops. And the Hedgehog stages were fun, beating up baddies, solving puzzles and all that. Story was nice too, it has this big epic adventure feel to it, but still managed to have some scenes where the characters are more casual and talk about stuff. Now I feel like there is a bit of a contradiction to some people who say that this game is underrated. More specifically the ones who say, yeah, I like Sonic Unleashed, and I think it's underrated, but I still hate the Hedgehog stages. And with a comment like that, you're basically dismissing 50% of the game, and it doesn't really fit into the underrated title that you're claiming it to be. Because a lot of people will take that comment and think that the game is just average at best. I've only seen a small handful of people who actually like both the daytime and nighttime stages, but still manage to have some fair amount of criticism to talk about this game, whether it be a certain level they don't like or other aspects, and, you know, not dismissing 50% of the gameplay. So, unless I'm proven wrong, which I'm sure I most likely will, I still consider Unleashed to be the most underrated Sonic game. B-Tick Master Max, who's your favorite Archie Sonic villain and why? Well, that would have to be Dr. Finitivis. Love the character's design, and he's basically this big mastermind, always pulling the strings and making things go according to plan. And he's quite the fast traveler with all those warp rings that he carries around. And next question. Have you read Archie Sonic Online? Yeah, I've heard of Archie Sonic Online and read some of the Mobius Legend comics. Already did a review on them on a random journal entry on DeviantArt. And for anyone who doesn't know, Archie Sonic Online is the unofficial continuation of the old continuity of Archie Sonic picking up after the events of issue 247. So yeah, it's kind of like Sonic the Comic Online and how that was the unofficially official continuation to Fleetway Sonic comics. As I mentioned before, I've only read Mobius Legends, which are just a bunch of random stories that I really don't have much to say about it for the most part. But there is one called Trigger, which has Blaze and Elise going on adventures, and, well, this is the most broken story out of the bunch because it has no flow of consistency. Like, it's literally a completely different setting and story in every page, with no proper transitions. Like, one page they're in the snow, and in one page they're in a temple encountering Captain Whiskers, and then in one page they're in space fighting some evil doppelganger of Blaze, I think, and then in one page, like, Blaze is all super somehow, and she's fighting this, like, perfect chaos, except it's not made out of water, it's made out of lava, and somehow, and what the heck is going on? But other than that, they plan on doing their own versions of the main comics, their own Sonic Universe comics, and even a remake of the Endangered Species story arc, which I once mistook Glitcher's version on DeviantArt to be that reimagining. But then someone told me that Archie Sonic Online's version would be completely different, and as far as I know, there seems to be a heavy emphasis in reintroducing Gaina the Echidna, and that was a very obscure Archie Sonic character who was a member of the Dark Legion. And there are forums on that site, and, well, I've heard of horror stories of what goes on in the forums over there. Ferd talks about how the mods love to abuse their power, like getting rid of all the original people who created the site because they were too impatient from their busy life schedules and all that, which I find ironic because the site takes like 5 flippin' years just to release one frickin' issue. Then there was talks about how there was this huge argument on what characters they should keep and which ones they won't keep, like, oh, let's keep all the Ian Fleem characters, no, let's kill them off and only keep the Ken Penders characters, no, I want to keep the Carl Boilers characters, and that's it, and so on and so on. And the other thing I've heard is that they can't handle any kind of criticism. So to me, Archie Sonic Online just comes off as a site polluted by those old continuity Archie Sonic purists, most likely coming from that Save Archie Sonic group on DeviantArt. And for anyone who decides to join the Archie Sonic Online group and has even the smallest interest in the new continuity of Archie Sonic, then you're gonna have a bad time. Mary Hartman, how did you start your hatred with the Sonic fanboys? Furthest back I can think of was when a Knothole resident made his infamous rant about Sonic 4 and how he became prejudiced against Sonic having green eyes and all that. Michael Olson, who's your favorite Sonic the Hedgehog villain that isn't Dr. Robotnik? I assume this is a question regarding the games, because I already answered who's my favorite Archie Sonic villain. So for the games, I guess it would be either Mephiles or Neo Metal Sonic. Mephiles has this cool design and his interesting motives, as well as the fact that he's voiced by Dan Green, and that guy is always great in anything. And then we have Neo Metal Sonic, has a cool design. Really happy to see that version turn up in the IDW Sonic comics, where he acts as a second-in-command of the Eggman Empire. Peacemaker 4 Productions. I have an idea for a crossover game between my original characters and Sonic. The game is called Opal and Sylvia with Sonic the Hedgehog. It also has the true 3D Sonic game you've been waiting for. Are you interested in playing the game? I don't know. Aside from calling it the true 3D Sonic game title, you haven't really told me that much about what the game's plot is, the structure, and, well, any pictures regarding it. Not to mention no description of who these new characters are that they mentioned, because Opal makes me think of that jellyfish gal from Archie Sonic, and Sylvia makes me think of a very crappy fan-made Sonic character I made in high school, where she's the daughter of Silver and Blaze, and she has telekinesis like Silver, and she's gray. Ugh, that was terrible. Crazy Kid, do you think Ken Penders is the cause of Archie Sonic's cancellation? Yes and no. Yes, as in he's the one that started the ticking time bomb for the demise of the series, and no, because I usually say that the Scott Fulop lawsuit was the final nail in the coffin for the comics. I always found that funny how everybody talks about the Ken Penders lawsuit, and character ownerships and whatnot, and yet nobody talks about the Scott Fulop lawsuit, who was suing the company over royalties for the graphic novels that were reprinting older stories. Which was a big help for people to try and follow the comics in order, like me, because trying to find physical issues of the original copies and that are not too freaking expensive, yeah, not that easy. And that was what caused the graphic novel market for Archie Sonic to get cancelled one by one when the Scott Fulop lawsuit started getting to full effect. Although unlike the Ken Penders lawsuit, Archie did win against Scott Fulop, even though by that time the comics were already cancelled, so it was a very bittersweet moment for them. 6T76T, favorite Sonic song of all time? Well, I guess anything by Crush 40. They're always great at making songs from the Sonic games back in the day, like, I guess my top picks would be Live and Learn, Escape from the City, and What I'm Made of. And yes, I know they're doing a song or doing something in Team Sonic Racing, and I still refuse to play it. I already given up on the games after what a huge disappointment Sonic Forces was, and it's gonna take a lot more than Crush 40 and Jun Suno to win me back over into playing the newest Sonic game. Next question, what do you think of the late Michael Jackson's music contribution on Sonic 3? Yes, all the stories about Michael Jackson helping out with music in Sonic 3. And I think it's nice. There's definitely some tunes in there that feel like they're remixed versions of one of his songs or something. Next one, which Sonic meme you can't stand and why? Well, that's mostly Sonic and Uganda Knuckles. But other than that, I'm very picky with what Sonic memes I actually like. I pretty much have grown numb from every Sonic meme thanks to the likes of Aaron Weber and the Sonic Twitter account abusing the ever-living hell out of this stuff to no end. If there was at least one Sonic meme that I like, then it's probably the whole "Time for a change of pace" line from Generations. I just find that amusing, and I feel like that hasn't been over-abused as every other Sonic meme has. That's good. But going back to my comment of how I don't like Sonic and Uganda Knuckles, well, that's just simply because I never found them funny. Patrick Frencher, have you watched any of Wendy's Japanese Sonic videos? Yes, I think I came across some of his dubs on Sonic Forces after watching the Sonic Dissected episode where Luke goes on a ranting spree about the game and talks about the original Japanese version quite a bit in that episode. But yeah, Wendy, as far as I know, is the only guy who has done proper translations of the original Japanese dialogue for Sonic games. And that's good. I always found that annoying in some official Sonic games where you have the option to switch languages, but not the text. It's always the English text, which doesn't really match up to the other languages. Next question. Have you read Console Wars, Sega, Nintendo, and the Battle that Defined a Generation? Technically a Sonic question. No, never heard of that book. Next question. What do you think of the original Japanese backstory of Sonic? It's the original backstory for Sonic in Japan that was pretty much an early draft for a Sonic Bible. You know, an official file source that explains the world and its characters, which is something that the games these days clearly doesn't have anymore. So there's actually two versions to this Sonic Bible. The original drafted one in Japan, and then there's the original backstory made for Sonic 1. Now the Japanese one is a bit odd because Sonic isn't really the main character. It mostly focuses on a pilot and a photographer who just so happen to get small glimpses of the blue Hedgehog, who in this version is treated like this spirit of freedom or something. Which probably explains why the original Sonic manga is made for Japan is the only version of Sonic to feature any of these elements from the draft. Then we have the American Sonic Bible or Sonic Origin Story, where Sonic was once a regular brown hedgehog, and Robotnik was actually a good guy, and he was named Dr. Kintobor, and he and the hedgehog were friends. Then one day a freak accident happens, making Sonic blue and turning Kintobor into the evil Dr. Robotnik. And that story is kind of interesting, seeing the origins of those two characters back when the series was brand new at the time. And if you read Fleetway Sonic, then you'll probably know where that origin story was based off of. Brad on 548. Do you want to make a Sonic the Hedgehog OC that represents you as an avatar? A Sonic persona of myself, I see. I don't know, aside from the bunny character I did while playing Forces, I had an idea or two about a Sonic-fied version of myself. Always felt like making it a fox, cause, you know, foxes are cute. Next question. Classic era, Dreamcast era, or modern era? I think I already answered a question similar to this, but sure. I like Dreamcast and modern era. Well, before colors came in. Next question. What are your favorite Sonic the Hedgehog comic book series? Well, Archie Sonic's always been my top favorite, with its characters, its world, and such. Now, I have read some of the other stuff. I did read Fleetway Sonic, all of the issues, or at least the ones that actually contained new stories. And that was interesting, and seeing a more different look on the characters, like Tails having his own solo adventures and a whole army of Metal Sonics and such. And of course, we now recently have the IDW Sonic comics, which I've been enjoying, because it's, well, pretty much the only Sonic media that I follow after Forces pretty much destroyed all of my trust, hopes, and any kind of positivity I have for the future of the games. Callum Sparrow, what are your expectations for the Sonic South by Southwest event later this month? Well, ain't this an outdated question? Okay, so this is asking about the Sonic panel that was hosted this year, and my main expectations for that back then was, it's the Classic Sonic Only show, and memes. Memes everywhere. I have recently found a video that was a quick recap of the event of 2018, and I watched it just for the sake of reactions and to refresh my memory, and yeah, I was kind of right. Them showing off Sonic Mania Plus, now with Mighty and Ray as playable characters. Whatever. I've already had my fill of those two from how frequently they showed up in Archie Sonic. And there's Sonic Mania Adventure, the official web series that'll probably go on for like 52 episodes, knowing how overpraised Mania is. And then we vaguely get mentions of IDW Sonic when back in the day we didn't know much about the comics. And that was it. Now, if there's going to be another Sonic South by Southwest panel in 2019, then my predictions for that is, it's the Classic Sonic Only show, the sequel, showing off Sonic Mania 2, because despite what Iizuka said about how there won't be a sequel, he actually meant that there will be a sequel. Yeah, like a contradicting bum that he is. And then Uganda Knuckles and Sonic appear in the game as DLC playable characters, and Modern Sonic doesn't even get a new game in 2019. The end. The famous Hector G. If you could make your own Sonic game, what would it be? If I could make my own Sonic game. Well, for one, it would most likely be based on Archie Sonic. It's the one I'm more comfortable with designing, at least like world structure and character and scripting and whatnot. As for gameplay, that would mostly be running stages and missions and open worlds to explore, and it would be a 3D Sonic game. You know, that's actually real 3D Sonic game, none of this colors and forces bullshit. So in some cases, I would take inspirations from Sonic Utopia on the level designs and such, but I would also take inspiration from a Steam game called Defunct, which is basically this robot on a wheel going fast in these big open worlds, and basically it's how I feel that these so-called 3D Sonic games we've been getting recently should take lessons from. Now, funny enough, I do have the game on Steam, but whenever I try to play it, the game just lags like crazy, so unfortunately I haven't gotten around to properly play the game for myself, but the gameplay I've seen from random people on YouTube has already got me sold on the idea. Julio the Gallet, do you have a favorite Sonic OC, if you have one? I don't know, I've lost track with Sonic OCs over the years, at least the ones that are more popular. I guess the only one that comes to my mind is Venus the Hedgehog. Yeah, that's a pretty old OC. Next question. How can you think of a Mario and Sonic crossover game that isn't sports? What would my idea be for a Mario and Sonic crossover game that doesn't involve them going to the Olympics for the umpteenth time? Well, that's hard to say. I was thinking like Mario going through running levels from Sonic's world and Sonic going through Mario's platform-heavy stuff, but that really doesn't work because Sonic has become a lot more heavy on the platforming in recent games. So I guess the gameplay I'm thinking of, is the best I can think of anyway, would be like the Sonic and the Avatar levels from Sonic Force, you know, being able to control one or the other and having their own different abilities and exploring levels. I feel like that kind of gameplay would work for a Mario and Sonic platform/running level. It just needs to be tweaked here and there, you know? Next question. Do you play the Chow Garden? Yes, I have played the Chow Garden. Mostly from the adventure games. And they're nice. Just a nice little optional break from the main adventure. Nice way to raise little critters and have some fun for a bit. I've been thinking about playing it more often to raise them and compete in more challenging missions and actually be able to get all of those freaking emblems. That's quite the chore. Although I still find it funny how I've seen so many people over the years that have been begging Sega to bring back the Chow Garden, and of course they never do. Which is surprising because you'd think they would at least make a mobile phone game on it. I mean, they did one years ago in the Sonic Cafe Japan exclusive stuff, so I don't think it would kill them to just remake that as a free app for everyone. That guy again, sorry. Are the Sonic fanboys dead? Nah, they're about as immortal as those memes on the Sonic Twitter account. And next question. Favorite and least favorite Sonic character? Way too many to count. I assume this is one specifically for the game, so here we go. Favorite characters, Tails, because he's cute, and I mostly like him in most of the games before Pontaff had to ruin him in every other game that he's now in. Cream, because she's super cute. Yeah, starting to notice the trend here. Next, Gamma, nice sympathetic robot in his way that he was portrayed in Sonic Adventure. Next, Omega, I like the design, and I mostly like his personality and how he's portrayed in Archie Sonic. Has this nice sense of dark sense of humor with wanting to blow stuff up and whatnot. Shadow the Hedgehog, from back in the day when he was actually a cool character, instead of nowadays where he's being treated like meme fodder. Ugh. And that's all I know there's more favorites that I like, but that's all I can think of. Now for my least favorites, the Deadly Six, because they are the most one-dimensional and forgettable villains in the Sonic games. But it's clear that they're never going away because of how frequently they've been appearing in Sonic games after Lost World. Well, okay, only Zaz and Zavok are the only recurring characters, but still. Infinite. Already talked about this in my review of Sonic Forces, so here it is again. Love the design, but his motives and backstory are laughable, and pretty much make him very forgettable. And that concludes the Sonic category on this Q&A video. And if I don't make any more videos after this, then I most likely have been kidnapped by the classic Sonic Mafia group and being forced to play Sonic Mania Plus all the way through in one go, in one sitting. And if I decide not to beat it with all the Chaos Emeralds, then I end up getting killed. So, yeah. Good night, everybody.